to Deadlands Dime Novels, The Adventures of Young and Holt, Issue 20, Far Gone in Fargo, Part 1. I'm your narrator, Ernest Wick, intrepid reporter for the Tombstone Epitaph. In this issue, Young and Holt, along with Joshua's old friend Saul, have left the town of Ortonville and made their way to Fargo, hoping to rescue Porter's friend Regina from the hangman's noose. But first, they need to get the lay of the land a bit, as well as take care of some other business. Before we see where they're at, a bit of a note. In the interest of keeping the story moving, the basic information our posse knows about Fargo has been moved to the end of this issue. It can be found around the 50-minute mark. We at the Epitaph do this because, while helpful, it's not completely pertinent to what happens in this issue. The map referenced can be found in the notes for this issue. With all of that out of the way, let's see where they're at.
Yeah, your travel from what's left of Ortonville, which of course was really more of a camp than anything else, to Fargo goes surprisingly well, surprisingly without incident, and thankfully calm. You're able to get a decent amount of sleep, Porter, enough to recover a wound, so that's good. And around just a little bit before noon, I think it's going to take you 2 days to get there. But around noon on that second day, that's when you come riding into Fargo.
The night before we get there.
Okay. Ooh, you want to have a dream, huh?
I figure now's the time of it, if any.
What would you like to have a dream about?
I was thinking maybe it's an unconscious cast of hunch towards what's coming up. And because I don't have, because normally it takes a physical touch
to
cast, I was going to take out my grit bonus for the deal with the devil instead to see if it actually casts.
Okay, that's fair.
So it's just straight five cards.
Okay. Makes things a little sweaty.
And it costs me normally 3, which is not easy to come by. I could fail this pretty hard coming in. Let's find out. I failed pretty hard coming in. So maybe instead of a hunch, it's probably a nightmare of some sort.
All right. So your dream, or your eyes open, and it's dark, and you feel something around you, like you're in like close quarters, like a small tent or something, and you fumble around for a match. You light it, and you realize that you're in a pine box. Of course, the glow from the match is pretty confined to where you're at, so you can't even quite see down all the way down to your feet. But you realize you're in a box, and you push up against it, and it doesn't really. There's no give. It doesn't open, and you can feel begins to get a little warm in here as you're continuing to breathe. But then you feel something down by your feet, and your match is burning unusually long. It hasn't burnt out yet. So you move your match down a little further. At the edge of the glow, you stop and you see a familiar face. It's the face of the creature that grabbed you and dragged you through the barn after the wall exploded when you were fighting Annabelle. And it's smiling at you in that same fiendish-looking smile that it had when you first encountered it. You pull the match back slightly, but the face just kind of floats forward a little bit. He just says to you,
"All right."
Not so good.
No. I don't think that you really would be in this situation.
Where am I?
That's a really good question. Would you like me to tell you?
Would you lie to me?
Oh, not in this case.
His face is right around by your knees, and hands come out from the darkness and kind of work their way up your thighs and then just kind of rest there, almost like almost like he's laying on you. And he says again,
Not in this situation, I wouldn't.
What situation is this?
Well, Porter, you're dead.
I'm not dead.
You're inside a coffin. Can't you tell? It's rather comfortable in here, isn't it?
A little pitch up. I'm not dead.
But how else would you have ended up in here, Porter, if you weren't dead?
I'm not dead. This is you. This is you.
Oh, I am absolutely me. Yes.
No, you caused this.
Porter,
This.
no, I didn't cause this, Porter. Porter, you caused this.
the hands move up a little further. And he,
A little scoot back. My head hits the.
yeah, your head hits the back of the... He says,
Let me tell you how you caused this, Porter. You kept seeking me out. You sought me out. You kept calling my name, trying to make deals with me, asking for power, looking for this favor, looking for that favor. And I think,
and one of the hands kind of comes up and he strokes his own face.
if I remember correctly, you even were warned to be careful with that. I think your friend told you that. And don't worry, he'll be joining you soon enough. But no, make no mistake, you caused this. You kept abusing the privilege, and it's a privilege to work with someone like me. And you abuse that privilege, and now you're dead in this box, but you know you're dead, and we both know how you feel about that.
As he's talking, am I wearing my hat?
You are wearing your hat.
I'm immediately, well, not immediately. As he's talking, I'm gonna, just kind of reach up. I'm going to pull out the little derringer I've got in there.
Okay.
I'm not dead, and I'm going to shoot him right in the face.
Okay. Make me a spirit roll.
Okay.
Make me a spirit roll at a -2.
Roll.
Wow.
Really quick to
Really good roll.
That is a 14.
Yeah. Pull the trigger on the derringer. Shot goes off. It goes right in between his eyes. He begins to dissipate, and you hear a whispered voice as he's dissipating, and it just says,
See you soon.
and boom, your eyes open up again, and you're awake. And both Joshua and Saul are kind of standing there picking up camp, just waiting for you to wake up, as they normally do, being the heavy sleeper that you are.
Just glad your hand didn't go to your gun while you were sleeping.
That's what I figured. If I rolled low, maybe that's what happened. Yeah, I'm going to shoot bolt upright immediately.
Okay.
Gasping for breath. Reaching out to make sure there's nothing around me, that sort of thing. And I'm going to be pale for quite a while, constantly glancing back over my shoulder, or down, as the case may be.
By your feet?
Yes.
You do this often? Not recently. Let's hope it doesn't become more frequent.
And I will be having my hand on my gun a lot more. And my cards. Although I'm a little more hesitant now. Thanks.
You're welcome. Couldn't have done it without you. Okay, so that's the morning just before you come into Fargo.
Perfect time for it.
As I said, you ride in, you do come in from the south, you can see in the distance, and you can even kind of hear there definitely is activity going on, and the city is certainly bustling with the business of the day. And you're making your way through, there's a few scattered houses here and there, but it's not until you get around the area, maybe about a block or two before the courthouse, that there's some more businesses, shops, and residences. People don't seem to be paying too much attention to you because there's wagons going there, and people are kind of crossing the streets here and there. Some kids even running around. There are trees that are around here, so it's not just flat open. There's definitely some trees lining the streets here and there. As you're making your way closer towards Front Street, there's some areas where there's large gaps between buildings, and there might be like tents set up there. and other people are either they're taking a lunch break or their crews are changing shifts or something, and there's people just kind of moving around. You pass by a church as well, First Episcopal Church of Fargo. Looks like there is a crew kind of out back. Looks like behind the church. Looks like they're building a fence. Joshua, make me a notice check. This is visual based, so you're not. 4. You see the Reverend. You can just kind of get a glimpse of him as he's walking through, and he's talking to a couple other people who are helping him out. And he looks vaguely familiar. One other thing that you do remember, you haven't passed it by here yet, but you remember from your time in Worthington. Of course, you remember Herbert, who sold you your shirt and everything. He did mention to you that his uncle, Yosh, has a dry goods store here in Fargo as well. And of course, you also need to try and find Uncle Francis.
I need to find a gunsmith.
And you need to find a gunsmith, which you certainly can find. You might need to go down a few streets to do so, but you absolutely will be able to find such a place.
I will have my daily allotment of snake oil, but I have a second bottle,
Right.
which I should deliver.
Well, that's right. Who do you want you to deliver that to?
He just wanted it to some goods store up here.
Right. Yes.
And what better way to pay back the favor to Herbert for the dynamite and the patched joint shirt, and to get myself some new clothes, because I believe I'm wearing the stable guy's clothes that died.
Yes. Horace
back at the site of the
Which are now
marshland invasion.
encrusted with dried sweat from your nightmare.
Yes. Well, I have been wearing them for 2 or 3 days now.
And there's that.
So, and I'm going to be seeing Regina for the first time in who knows how long.
That's very true.
Well, you gotta dress up.
A new suit.
That's right. I need a new suit.
Need a new suit. All right, so you're going to go look for Yasha's dry goods?
That's what I'm going to do.
All right. You all sticking together, or are you...
I don't care what he's doing right now because he's not going to go break anybody out of jail yet. So I'm going to go find that gunsmith.
All
I'm
right.
going to get that done as soon as possible.
Joshua, what about you?
Joshua's going to give some cash to Saul and ask you to pick up some 44 ammo.
All right.
Run a little low. And Porter, if you can pick up a new shirt and a vest for me, it'd be nice.
I can do that. That's probably the first words I've said the whole ride. And
And I'm going to go find a boarding house, get us some rooms,
All right.
and ditch a couple of horses extra. Because I'm assuming you're riding, and you're still going to be riding to where you're going since Fargo's a big town.
Yeah.
So that leaves me with 2 horses and my own.
I thought we had 4 horses.
We do. You're riding yours.
2.
I've got 2 with me. I'm going to go stable them.
I thought you said...
And then he's got his horse.
I thought you
total
said
5.
2... Oh, yeah, he has his own horse. That was where I can't keep track how many horses we have.
You want to do a straight up hotel, or are you just looking for a regular boarding house?
Straight up hotel.
Let's knock that one out first here. You could tell pretty quick once you get on Front Street, which is the main thoroughfare. There's the headquarters, the Central, the Established. You see one called the Minnesota House. There's also the Scandinavian, which is nearby there. There is the Sherman House Hotel, which is directly across from the headquarters hotel, which is right smack dab in the center of town.
Sherman sounds good.
The Sherman? All right. It's looks like it's actually a fairly decent looking place, probably a mid-range. You walk in, there's a couple people kind of over by the corner. There's a small little bar over there, but the lobby is clean, and there's a woman behind the bar, or behind the counter. Hello there.
Need to get 3 rooms.
3 rooms. 3 separate rooms, yes?
3 separate rooms.
All right then, sir.
Not sure how long we're going to be staying. Is that going to be a problem?
She pages through her ledger. I don't think so. Yeah. No. It looks like we should be okay for at least a week.
Okay.
But we do have 3 separate rooms. They're not all next to each other. I hope that's all right.
That's fine.
Okay. The rest of your party with you, or is it just you?
They're taking care of business.
They're taking care of their own business. Just get into town?
Yep.
Oh. Well,
Who would you recommend to take care of some horses?
oh, well, actually, we can take care of that here for you if we just want. I can add that onto your room price. If
Much
that's
obliged.
All right, how many horses are we talking? 3?
5 total.
5. Traveling with a little bit extra gear, huh?
Yep.
Okay, all right. Is that gear that you'll need storage for, sir, or are you going to take care of that in your own rooms?
Well, saddle and bits you take care of.
Of course, of course.
We'll take care of the rest up in our rooms.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. 5 horses. Well, okay, so the horses, that's going to run you 50 cents a day for all 5. The rooms are $2 a day. And she puts 3 little wood discs on the countertop here for you. It's complimentary. You can have complimentary beer over there at the bar. You said 3. I'm going to give you the other 2 as on the honor system for your friends.
Appreciate that.
But if you want to enjoy and partake of all 3, I guess that's something you're welcome to if they put you in charge of this task.
Anything going on in town lately?
Well, there's going to be a hanging in a couple of days.
You don't say.
Yeah.
A couple days, huh?
I believe, if I remember what I was told correctly, yeah, 3 days from now. Yeah, they caught some girl and her gang trying to rob one of the trains from the Iron Dragon, and well, that didn't quite sit right with folks. And from everything I've heard about this woman, she's a little on the unsavory side, and she's done a few other things in her past, apparently. So, the representative from the Iron Dragon kind of really made the case to let's end this problem, and can't say I don't disagree. We do a lot better out here without the criminal element. You know, really kind of sets things back.
Imagine the must be very proud of the law out here.
Well, they do all right. Well, you know, I mean, I have no qualms with the marshal. He keeps things fairly neat and orderly. Yeah, they're gonna do it right in the center of town.
Well, much obliged.
Of course. And you don't have to get these beers right now. If you have things you need to do, you just bring them back and you get them right over there to the.
All right. 3 of the horses are already outside.
Oh,
Pushed up.
all right. And she snaps her fingers and somebody comes out. This gentleman's got 3 of 5 horses. Why don't you take them out back? They're right outside, mister?
Right outside.
All right.
I'll lay down $8 on the table.
Okay.
Yeah, that should get the tab started.
All right, then. Thank you very much. Okay.
Sign my act.
Oh, I'm sorry. And key 1, key 2, and key 3, room 7, room 2, and room 4.
Your day?
Day to you.
Head outside and make sure the kid gets the right horses.
He did indeed get the right horses. Relatively smart kid.
Grab my saddlebag, go stash it in room 4. I'll leave Misery's Inn and due diligence and a rifle up there with saddlebags.
Pretty basic room, but again, about as neat and clean enough.
Head out of the Sherman, look both ways, and disappear into the crowd.
Walk around. All right. Porter, it takes you a few minutes, and you have to kind of go through, but it's off of the main street. But it's a little bit further down Front Street towards the river. But you were able to find Yosh's Dry Goods.
All right.
And there's he's got a few people in there, so he deals basically in everything that's of a dry nature. There's clothes, food, and other just general supplies in here as well. The predominant clientele in here appears to be women, and looks like they're just gathering supplies, probably for homes or something of that nature.
Well, first thing is I'm going to see if he has any good suits.
Oh, hey there.
Good evening. Afternoon.
Yeah, it's afternoon. It's not quite evening
Not
yet.
yet.
I can't shut down yet.
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself there. What can I do you for?
I am looking for a couple things.
Okay.
I'd like to get a new suit.
Oh. Well, you got something special coming up.
I do.
Okay. All right. Yeah, well, we got some clothes, handmade, obviously, but by relatives of mine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Here, hold on. He's put some. Take care of the counter here for a minute. He walks you back, and he shows you he's got about 3 or 4 different suits. Clearly, they are not hemmed yet, so they look a little long in places. There's one that is earthy brown, one that has a little bit of blue in it, and one that's got a nice little checked kind of yellow and brown pattern. on there. Yeah, so we just got these ones in. Although actually these ones, no, that's right. These ones are not made by family, but they came in from out east.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. I ordered them out. I think they came from Chicago, if I remember correctly.
Really?
I don't know. I've had them here for a while. Nobody's wanted to buy them. I think they've just been focused on other things.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, that happens. I figured they'd sell. I mean, that's probably why you're here.
That is why I'm here.
Yeah. All right. Good. Which one interests you? Because obviously you can tell. I'd have to size them up and everything. So we could size you, and I could have it for tomorrow, if that's soon enough.
Oh, that will work great.
All right then.
Let's go with the blue one.
You like the blue one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of looks like you. I can clean up your hat a little bit if you want. I mean, you can keep that. I won't try and sell you one. He takes it down and kind of puts it up against you. Yeah, it looks like it would probably fit. Here, put this on and we'll measure. So what do you got? You got a wedding or a funeral or something? Or
I'm going to meet an old friend.
Oh, all right. Here in town?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Do I know him?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I've been here for a while. I know a lot of people.
She hasn't been here for a while.
Oh, it's a she. Well, now it's starting to all make sense. Okay. Hey, in the morning, we usually, the wife, she's got flowers outside. So if it's, that sort of arrangement, you can always pick up some flowers. They're gone usually within a couple of hours and stuff. A lot of the other ladies will come and take them, or other guys who are sweet on the people, they'll come and get them.
I'll keep
so
that
if you
in
get
mind.
here early enough.
I'll keep that in mind.
All right. And he's measuring you as you're changing, like
and I'm
right
just
in
like...
the middle of the store, and he's making chalk marks for where we'll just Holt just stop gesturing so much when you talk.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. Hey, no offense or anything, but you must have just come into town.
That's right.
Okay. I say that only because newcomers, they smell just a little bit different. They don't have to smell as much as the river,
I see.
Yeah.
Do a lot of newcomers come by?
Well, we get people in all the time,
yeah.
But I mean, I get my regulars and stuff, so I know how the indigenous smell. You know what I mean?
That's a $5 word.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It works all right. What else are you looking for here?
Actually,
Here you go. Here's your other clothes. You can put that back on.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Hey, I like that. Oh, you don't have that shirt anymore. Damn it! He was gonna make a comment about the shirt.
I know it's torn up. Sorry.
Yeah.
While he was doing the measuring and stuff, I'm going to take the gun out of my hat.
Okay. Good idea.
And stow it somewhere. And then I will offer it for him to clean.
Okay.
Also.
Yeah. I'll get that cleaned up mighty nice for you.
And then I have one other thing to ask of you.
Okay. Yeah. Shoot.
And then I will fish out a bottle of the snake oil.
Oh. Okay. What you got there?
I got this from a man in Lac Parley.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
On my way up here.
Okay.
I had a little run-in with some rough types.
Yeah. Well, that happens around here.
And I've been taking this 3 times a day.
Oh. Okay.
A spoonful.
Yeah.
And I feel great.
Really?
And his only payment for giving me a bottle was to make sure I brought it up to a reputable store up in Fargo, because he's going to be coming up. And if it did well for you up here, maybe he would offer you some more to sell. Oh,
so you found this reputable store yet then? He kind of punches you in the shoulder like, that's just my little joke. Yeah, let me take a look at it here. So who's the gentleman who gave you this?
H.P. Gerard?
H.P. Gerard. Yeah, no, I hadn't heard of that guy. All right.
It seems like he's been traveling around a lot. It doesn't taste great, but you know how it is.
Well, that's what they say. If it tastes bad, that usually means it's good for you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've heard that. That's what my dad used to say. All right. So you're just giving this to me then? Is that or are you asking me to sell it for you, like on a consignment?
I'm asking you to sell it. Period. I'm not asking for anything in return.
Okay. All right. Well, I can give it a shot and see. Yeah, I know a couple people who might benefit from this. Maybe give them like a half bottle sample or something to like test it out or something.
Right.
A trial run, so to speak.
That's what we were hoping for, so that if it works out, maybe he can sell some more. He can actually sell some to you, which you can then sell.
H.B. Gerard. Is that what you said? H.B. or H.G.? I can't remember what you just said. I'm a little old.
Out of character, I'm not sure what it is.
I believe it was B.
Perfect.
I have HB, but I swear I've heard HP, so I'm completely confused.
His name is Hit Point Gerard.
That's right.
Okay. Let me make
H. Gerard.
All right. All right. I'll make a note. Yeah, okay. All right, perfect. Well, thank you very much. No, I'm just telling you, be up fair, that's not going to get you a discount on the suit.
I didn't expect not a nice suit like this.
Well, okay, all right. I'm glad we're on the same page.
And next time I'm down in... What was our first town? Was it...
Worthington.
Worthington.
Yeah, but technically Albert Lee, but Worthington was where you met Herbert.
I will tell Herbert you gave me a great deal.
You know Herbert?
I do.
That's my nephew.
That's right.
So you were in Worthington.
That's where I came up from.
How is Herbert? I haven't seen him in like a long time.
Doing great. I had a really nice shirt from him. Unfortunately,
his wife makes good shirts.
They do. The patches are great.
The patches. Yeah. All right. So you did meet Herbert then. All right. So this isn't some sort of line. Okay. Good.
No. I wouldn't do that.
Well, okay.
I don't look like the type that would do that, do I?
Well, we'll talk about that later. So, all right, so just the suit, hemmed it up, cleaned the hat, which we'll wrap that in the tossed, and then, okay, and then HB, all right. Yeah, so but Herbert's doing good. Is his store still running? Obviously, it is, because you bought the shirt from him.
Running. He's doing just fine.
Good. Hey, do you ever get rid of that old red horse? There was an old red horse that he couldn't sell to anybody. Nobody wanted that damn horse.
Oh, you mean Red Jet?
I think that's the one.
That's the one. He definitely got rid of that horse.
Okay. Actually, I gotta say, I think that horse was pretty nice, but people just thought for some reason he just couldn't sell it. I don't know.
Well, that happens sometimes.
Yeah, it did. All right. Well, yeah, I gotta take care of these other people here.
No problem.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for all the help.
Well, of course. Thank you. Hey, do you want to know how much you're paying for the suit?
I would love to know.
All right. The suit came from Chicago, so it's not cheap.
Yep.
15.
15?
Yes, sir.
I can pay that.
All right. I'll hem it up and we'll get it all nice and taken care of for you. Good.
That's what I want to hear.
All right. And that includes the hat.
Oh, it does?
Oh, yeah. That includes the hat.
Great.
That'll be the discount because you know Herbert.
Thank you.
Right.
I will tell... Next time I'm down there, I will let him know.
All right. That sounds good. We'll call that a deal. All right, Saul. So you're looking for a weaponsmith, huh?
Yep.
That is easy enough to find. Now, do you want to try straight up blacksmith, or do you want to try somebody who actually deals in guns?
Yeah, looking for a gunsmith.
You find a shop. The sign hanging out front says Grove's Gunsmithing. Yeah, and it's one of the first ones that catches your eye. It's actually empty in here. The interior is nothing to speak of. It's basically a pretty simple structure. There is a couple areas to sit, like little three-legged stools, and then he has a workbench kind of off to the side, and then it goes into like a back room. There's a door. Mm-hmm. But you walk in, he looks up, and he's got a pair of goggles on, and puts them up on his head. He's got a number of tools sitting there. He looks like he's cleaning a rifle of some sort. Morning.
Afternoon.
Oh, all right, yeah, afternoon. Sorry. What can I do for you?
Well, need a box of 45, and I'll pull out the gun, turn it, hand it to him handle first. I can see what you can do with this.
He tries working the hammer. Whoa, you got that jammed good.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is.
You get in some trouble.
I did, sir.
Care to talk about it?
Well, I think the jam was what got me out of the trouble.
Yeah, so, yeah. All right. Mm-hmm. He kind of starts taking some tools. The other guy not in good shape, though. I take it after this?
Well, yeah, you could say that. You know, you're walking up and down these paths between cities, and there's some folk out there that, just get it into their heads to go and take a good man down.
Yeah, there's no shortage of trouble once you get past the. If it ain't the bandits, then it's going to be the Injuns. So take your pick. Either one's not too pleasant. Okay. So, you've been in Fargo a while then? I don't mean, there's plenty of people come through. We get a lot of transients.
No, about an hour.
Oh, you're brand new. All right. Coming here for work?
Yeah, you could say that.
Loggers are always hiring. I don't know if that's what you're. You don't have a collar, right? You just have the.
I just have
the chain.
necklace. Yep.
Loggers are always hiring. Of course, I don't know if you're into trains. The dragons are always looking for somebody as well. So.
Say that one more time.
Iron Dragon, the Iron Dragon rail line.
Mm-hmm.
They always need hands working. Of course, looks like your skin might be a little too white for most of the people that they hire, but still, if you work hard, there you go. But I can't begrudge them. There's plenty of our railroads who wouldn't hire people from China. So, 6 of one, half does the other, I guess. There you go. That actually wasn't so bad.
Oh, all right.
You said 45?
44.
44. He grabs a wooden box. Box of 50 right there. That'd be $3. Throw in $1 for the repair. Actually, it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be.
All right. Flip out $4. Hand it over. So, what can you tell me about what's been going on in Fargo lately?
Of late? Well, the biggest news is it's going to be a hanging. About 3 days hence from here. Speaking of the dragons, somebody who got mixed up with them, she's going to pay the price. But also, probably deserved it.
You think she did it?
You know what? Honestly, I don't really care. I trust the judge. So, the judge heard, evidence that makes him think that she did it. I was a little bit too busy to go and hang out at the trial, and here I just got to hear gossip and whatnot. But if that's what he's going to rule, that's what he's going to rule. It wasn't just her. I mean, she was with a gang. They're all going to share the same fate, I guess. But yeah, I'll probably go to the hanging. It's been a while since we've had one here in town.
Yeah, it's
something to do.
It's nice to see a good hanging every once in a while.
Yes,
so
it is.
Your judge, he's an honorable man, you figure?
Yeah, so I never met the man, but from what I can tell, yeah. Now, wouldn't want to get messed up with the guy who was pushing to get him hung. He's a different story.
You got a deputy?
It's not his deputy. The sheriff and the marshal and all that, they're fine. They're fine folk. No, this was the guy who was representing the Iron Dragon. He was the one who was really, I think, putting some of the pressure to make sure that it wasn't just jail time that they were going to get rid of. Because they didn't get away, they didn't get very far with what they got. They claimed that they were taking back something that was stole from them. I don't know. Like I said, I didn't listen to too many of those details.
Yeah, you know how rumors fly left and right.
Well, that they do. He's been in my shop before. Him and a couple of his lieutenants. He doesn't use guns very often, but he carries them.
Yeah.
And
what's this fellow's name?
That's the funny thing, is that nobody really knows the man's name. Everybody just calls him the Singer.
The Singer.
And they do that because that is what he does. He sings? He sings.
He sings and he leads a railroad.
Well, for this detachment of the Iron Dragon, from my understanding of it, he's like the main person in charge, or he's the main enforcer, or something along those lines.
Downright Renaissance man.
Yeah, he. In fact, and he does have a good voice. It's funny because he was singing in my shop as I was working on his, and it was a little unnerving at first, but I guess he got used to it, I suppose.
Yeah. What did he sing?
I don't know. He was singing in Chinese. That's the thing. I don't know. I mean, he's from out west. Was my understanding. He came from out in California, way in the Great Maze area, and came out here to kind of run things. And he was an intimidating looking individual.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he paid
himself.
What's that?
He a Chinaman himself.
He is.
Well, that's an interesting story.
Yeah. I didn't talk with him much, but like I said, he paid, so I had no quarrel with him.
Absolutely. Well, I thank you for your service, sir.
Of course.
You have a good afternoon.
Get this rifle taken care of, I probably will, but yeah, thank you. Thanks for reminding me it was lunchtime, actually. I've been sitting at this thing for far too long. I'll let you go.
You have a good day.
All right. The rest of you continue about your general business. I mean, you melted into the crowd. Are you just trying to soak up?
I was going to make a streetwise check and see if I could locate a few people.
Okay.
Or get some pointers on where to go to locate some people. I was also going to try to swing by the marshal's office.
4. Who are you looking for?
Oh, Jimmy Six Shots.
Okay.
Billy Wells. Missy Don't Mayers. Francis.
Just Francis?
Just Francis?
With a name like that, you don't need a...
I'm going to spell it out for you.
You can absolutely get a line on those 3 individuals.
Okay.
And they happen to be hanging out at the Two Corners Saloon, which is closer towards the river. Francis, though, because that proves to be a little bit difficult to, without a last name and without an actual occupation, you cannot really get a good grip on where somebody like that might be.
Well, now that I have a location of those 3, I'm going to head up to Sheriff's Office or Marshal's Office.
Okay. That is over by the courthouse. That's easily enough to find.
Okay.
You see once you approach, so you've got the marshal's office, and then there is a building. There's like a kind of a space in between. It's fenced on both, and then there's another building. That building definitely looks like it's a holding. But that's where all the cells are located. And one thing that catches your eye as you're going up there, there's a number of individuals there. They're all kind of dressed in, do you know that stereotypical kind of Chinese labor outfit where it's kind of the baggy gray pants and the gray shirt? It's like that, but it's a bit more formal and a bit more put together. And they've all got a logo and a sash or some sort of insignia on the shirt that matches. It does appear to be a dragon symbol that you can just sort of make out. But they're all standing around the jail storage area. There's probably maybe about a handful of them.
Okay.
And they're just standing guard. Mm-hmm. But you can absolutely walk up to the marshal's office if you like.
Tie up my horse.
Okay.
Kick some dirt off shoes. Walk in.
All right. There is a man sitting behind the desk. Got his hat on a hook up there. Gun belts on a little coat rack.
What's the badge title him as?
It is a marshal.
Okay.
He's the older gentleman, thick old mustache, beard, coming down as well. His face sort of sags a little bit. He's got a stove behind him with a coffee pot on there. And he looks up from his papers that he's working on. Can I help you?
Marshal?
Yeah.
I'll look out the door and then close it behind me. Look over at the seat, look back at him. You got a moment?
I may. Is this, he takes a nervous glance back towards where his gun belt is. And you've seen this before because you've been around, and he just kind of casually pushes his chair back a little bit, but faking as if he's kind of making himself comfortable.
Right.
Just so he's within reach distance of it. Perhaps, what can I do for you?
I draw and shoot. No, just kidding. All right, got that out of the way.
There's our first duel.
Thought you might like to hear about some news from down south. Don't know how fast word spread, but
All right.
It was an attack at Orton.
It was what?
An attack at Ortonville.
Oh, an attack.
Yeah.
He sits up a little bit. What? What? From what?
Well, how much have you seen in this life? Because there's some weirdness out there.
What exactly are you implying, stranger?
It wasn't natural. Nothing that walks around on 7 legs is natural.
He stands up and he walks back towards. At this point, you notice there was like a holding cell, and you didn't see it at first, but there was somebody actually laying on a cot. He looks. All right, yeah, he's still out. He's still drunk. Continue.
Well, before the attack at Ortonville, might also want to note that something cleaned out the town of Marshall.
Cleaned out.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's dead. All the loggers, store owners,
The whole town?
the whole town.
Jeez.
Now, like I said, I don't know how fast word spreads, but
And you know what
It's my
caused
civic
this?
duty. We were riding through there. We didn't stick around long to find out what caused it.
Well, it's probably a wise course of action.
Just
What
figured.
is your presumption as to what was the cause of both of these things, if they were unnatural?
Well, I wouldn't hazard a guess to really say what it was, but that's gonna sound crazy.
Yeah.
And I haven't been drinking today. I do drink, I ain't gonna lie.
I gathered.
But as you can see, I'm fresh into town.
I can tell. All right.
Whatever it was had a number at its control. It was able to take out an entire town. A lot of them had been shot. Some seemed to be almost like they were sick, maybe poisoned somehow.
This thing that you say was controlling, was it a thing? Was it a man? Was it a woman?
Well, I'd say the appearance of a woman, but it wasn't natural. So I'm gonna be looking around the office to see like what kind of armaments they would have in the army. You know, how many guns they have locked up, how many people might work here, things like that.
He does have a gun. Oh, okay. Well, he does have a gun case. Go ahead and make your roll though. See what they're for. It looks like he probably has at least two deputies that are active.
Okay. So I wouldn't figure whatever this is would venture too close to a major city like Fargo.
Right.
But Ortonville was nothing but a bunch of tents thrown together, and
Yeah.
that made them a target. So
All right.
you might have some news hitting town sometime soon about what happened in Marshall, and I know best to be prepared for those things.
These bastards down at the Republic probably come talking to me here soon. All right. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. How long ago was this?
I'd say about a week.
Yeah. What's your name?
Joshua.
Okay, Joshua.
And before I give him a last name, I'm going to ask him, would you happen to know where I might be able to find a man named Francis? Now, Sylvia was a owner named Sylvia.
Sylvia.
She said she had kin named Francis, and she didn't make it. Now, there's a young boy that would be in his charge.
Is he with you?
Nope. He's in the care of the blacksmith down there, capable man.
Okay.
I promised Sylvia I'd look up the kin.
All right.
If he was interested in the boy, he could go get him.
Let me ask a couple of people. I know a few people named Francis, but let me ask. And where are you staying at?
We're at the Sherman.
At the Sherman? All right. If I know something, I'll stop by. If I find out something, I'll stop by for you.
Obliged. So, the folks just standing around out there?
Oh, out back?
Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure the hanging happens.
Okay.
The Iron Dragon, they wanted her. They wanted her and her gang done and taken care of.
Now you said gang. Is this the that red person I read about in the paper?
Regina the Red, yes, sir.
She had a gang?
She had a few people with him. Henry Clarksdale, Florence Flores, and Maud Ward. Yeah, this is generally what happens when you cross the Iron Dragon. You get caught. They want to make sure that a message is sent, and, well, let's just put it this way. A message has been received.
So, mass hanging then?
In 3 days. Yes, sir.
It's going to be a lot of rope.
There's a lot of rope. Yeah, they're going to start building the gallows tomorrow, I believe. And, they're in there reclining in our lovely facilities.
Alrighty.
So,
have a good day.
Well, you as well.
Just, like I said, wanted to let you know so you're prepared.
I appreciate that. That's right neighborly of you.
Anything I need to look out for in Fargo?
Well, you are wearing guns still on your hips, is that right?
Yeah, I've got kindness and mercy on.
Keep those holstered if you can. I'd appreciate that.
That's kind of the other fellow's prerogatives if they stay holstered or not, right?
That's very true. I wouldn't. I'm not going to fault you for defending yourself, of course.
I appreciate
But
that.
that's
Some of these towns out here you ride into, they yank your guns right away, and
Yeah, they my brother tried to push through a measure of that sort about a year or so ago, didn't go well. And cooler heads prevailed, and thus they kept him. It was necessary at the time.
Seems to me, if you outlaw the guns in town, and you're setting up everybody as a target.
That was, he and I almost came to blows on that. And I understand that if there's no guns in town, you can maintain relative order as long as everybody behaves themselves. But with the amount of traffic and the ne'er-do-wells that come through here, that's not an easy thing to do. So, in this case, an armed citizenry keeps society as polite as it needs to be.
Yep. All right. Is there posters on the wall or anything?
In here, yes.
I'll take a quick peruse.
Okay. Well, you see Regina's poster in here.
What was the bounty on her head?
The bounty on her head was only $500. You do not see her other gang members. One does catch your eye. It's two brothers. And they, underneath, you wanted, they have a bounty of also $500 each. Goes by the name of Mike and Ike Norris. And that, when you read that, that is when your heart skips a small beat. Your mind kind of goes back to some of your past. You ran with a gentleman by the name of Mike Norris, and you remember him talking about his little younger brother. And when his younger brother got older, that they were going to be joining the gang. Just kind of keep reading, and it begins to jog back memories in your head that Mike was a bit of an opportunist. He was good with his gun, no doubt about it, but he's wanted for a few stage robberies, a bank robbery, and the last note on the last comment on the wanted poster that really catches your attention is last seen traveling with an individual known to be wearing a long white duster. Possibly blonde hair.
Okay. And with that, I'll leave.
All right. As you're leaving the marshal's office and going back into the crowd, you make eye contact, briefly, with a very well-dressed Asian man. He's approaching the guards around the jailhouse. He is dressed in a very fine-looking dark suit. He has a hat that it's got a wide flat brim around it. Very nice-looking hair. He has some nice affectations on his suit. And you can just tell the way he carries himself with a smooth grace that clearly telegraphs to you he's a dangerous individual.
Theme music playing behind him.
There's a little bit of theme music playing behind him. He is actually humming as he approaches but he makes eye contact with you briefly and then just kind of keeps going on his way.
Slowly but surely, our posse is getting everything in place. Let's hope they're in time. We'll find out what happens in our next issue, Far Gone in Fargo, Part 2. The part of Joshua Young is played by Brent Rich. Porter Holt is played by Brad Smith. Saul Dearborn is played by Matt Blackie. And your intrepid marshal is played by Chris Hussey. Deadlands and Savage Worlds are the property of Pinnacle Entertainment Group. Learn more about their great games at their website, peginc.com. And of course, thanks always to our friends at Fear the Boot. Support their Patreon at patreon.com/feartheboot. Intro music provided by Zitron Sound. Other music in this issue provided by the Eaglestone Collective and Benedict Edwards. Contact information for the cast, as well as music, can be found in the notes for this issue on our website, youngandholt.com. If you enjoy these issues, please consider dispensing a lovely 5-star review on wherever you do listen from. It's kindly appreciated. I'm Ernest Wick for the Tombstone Epitaph. And remember, reputation is a large bubble which bursts when you try to blow it up yourself.
These are some raw facts that you know about Fargo. It is a town that is in a boom state, not because of gold, but more because of logging than anything else. So there is a very hefty logging operation. Cattle is the second largest industry, so to speak, in Fargo. And then clay and coal mining actually is a distant but growing third. So there's a logging portion, there's a mining portion, and there's a cattle portion. So you would be coming from the south, so you'd essentially on that map, you'll be coming from where the little island is and everything there. Of course, you all know that the Iron Dragon is the single and sole rail line that goes into and out of Fargo. Its primary run takes it to Deadwood, but that also obviously has runs down to Minneapolis and other large cities. You'll notice when you look at the map, the central street, which is First Street, I believe, also runs parallel with the rail line. What would you like to know about Fargo?
What kind of services?
Almost any sort of business that you would want to try and find, you certainly can. Names that come to the two of your minds, there is a hotel called the Headquarters Hotel. There's a Central Hotel. There's also the Established. There's a few more as well. The courthouse is located on the corner of Adams and 9th. Very nearby there is also the jail. The name that you know from the article you read, Porter, as far as who was judging the case against Regina, is Judge Elmer Hayes. Oh, Front Street. I'm sorry, not First Street. Front Street. The single paper in town is the Fargo Republican. And... yeah.
Pesky liberal papers.
I know. Fake news.
All right. I guess the only questions I would have, where would the holding jail be, and where would the hanging take place?
Okay, that, I mean, common knowledge-wise, you'll have to find out the hanging once you get in. You do recall vaguely that with the courthouse being on Adams and 9th, the marshal's office and holding cell is not far from there.
Okay.
The gallows will probably be outside of town. Either that or in the very middle.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the gallows. I thought you said the gals. And I'm thinking,
I did too. It did figure me out. It took me a little bit there.
Are you sure you want to be engaging in that kind of activity?
No.
They need saving too.
Kill people. That kind of activity is fine.
Ma'am, I just want to rent your time so we can have a little bit of prayer.